Imagine waking up tomorrow morning, walking into your local coffee shop and handing the barista a $10 bill. She shakes her head and points to a new sign on the counter. By global decree, physical currency is no longer tender. Digital payments only. You pull out your phone, but the network is completely jammed. You reach for your wallet, but the paper inside has just become useless rectangles of cotton and ink. This isn't a slow transition over decades. This is an overnight event, a coordinated global elimination of physical cash. To the mainstream media, it's celebrated as a victory over crime, tax evasion, and inconvenience. But beneath the surface of this frictionless paradise lies a dark psychological reality. When you eliminate cash, you don't just change how we pay, you fundamentally alter human behavior, freedom, and personal sovereignty. If paper money vanished globally tomorrow, this is exactly how the next 10 years would play out. Day 1. The shock. Immediately, the global underground economy collapses. Street-level crime halts overnight because transactions require a digital footprint. Tax evasion becomes nearly impossible. Every transaction is logged, tracked, and sent directly to central banking servers. But a strange psychological phenomenon begins to occur in regular citizens, the illusion of free spending. Behavioral economists have proven that physical cash acts as a psychological speed bump. When you hand over a crisp $50 bill, your brain registers a literal sensation of pain, known as the pain of paying. You physically see a resource leaving your possession. When currency becomes entirely digital, that psychological barrier vanishes. Swiping a card or scanning a face feels like an entry code, not losing wealth. Within the first 30 days of a 100% cashless world, consumer debt skyrockets. People spend up to 30% more on impulse buys simply because our ancient biological brains cannot visualize digital numbers as real survival resources. Year 1. The weaponization of access. By the end of the first year, governments introduced central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs. Unlike standard digital money, this currency is programmable. Suddenly, money is no longer a passive object in your pocket, it is a smart tool controlled by the issuer. The government can now set expiration dates on your funds to force spending and stimulate the economy. They can restrict what you buy. Trying to buy too much meat this month? Your transaction is automatically blocked due to your carbon footprint allowance. This triggers a massive shift in human psychology: hyperconformity. When your entire survival depends on a digital network controlled by a central authority, dissent becomes extinct. In a cash society, you can hold an unpopular opinion and still buy groceries. In a purely digital society, an algorithm can flag your social media post, label you a risk, and freeze your account with a single keystroke. You don't need to be locked in a prison cell if you can't buy food, shelter, or transportation. Your wallet becomes your digital leash. Year 5. The new rebellion. Human nature despises total surveillance. Because our brains are hardwired for autonomy, a completely cashless world inevitably forces the creation of an entirely new parallel economy. Without paper money, what becomes the new cash? Communities pivot backward to ancient systems of value. Silver, gold, and decentralized, untraceable cryptocurrencies become the currency of the underground. In everyday transactions, commodities take over. A pack of cigarettes, clean water filters, or physical bars of fuel become the new $100 bills. The world splits into two distinct psychological classes: the compliant digital citizens who trade their privacy for absolute convenience, And the economic outlaws who live off the grid, trading physical goods in the shadows just to keep a shred of their independence. The elimination of cash is always sold to us as progress. It is faster, cleaner, and safer. But the psychological truth behind the cashless movement is that physical cash is the last remaining bastion of true financial privacy. It is the only way to transact with another human being without a corporation, a bank, or a government standing between you. When cash disappears, it isn't the money we lose, it's the autonomy. The next time you tap your phone to pay for a coffee without thinking, ask yourself, are you buying convenience? Or are you slowly selling your freedom? Thank you for watching. If you want to dive deeper into the hidden psychological mechanics that shape our future, hit that subscribe button and join us next week as we go beyond stories.